like in your thought process, like what were some of the things that like you felt insecure about, or that would be like going into your marriage with being like, oh, if I do this, it'll mess it up.
Yeah, I a lot of my processing was through a lens of shame. So I think there were
Mm,
some very real challenges and just nuances of who I was as a person that I wanted to bring my best. But I also just had this lens and this voice in the back of my head of, well, you're going to mess it up, or you've never been lovable before. Who's to say someone's going
mm,
to love you the rest of your life? Um, and of course, you're going to mess this up. Of course, you're going to do this. Of course, you're going to do that. So it really, I think, was breaking a cycle of shame in my own life so I could even fully receive and live up to what God was calling me to be as a wife. I had to
mm.
first believe that if He brought me to it, He would sustain that within me.
See
He
you
would
through
teach
it.
me and heal
Yeah.
me, just to even be open to it. But shame is such a debilitation and a sneaky tactic because it isolates you in your head and your fear. You don't know what's actually true and what's not. And that's why part of the book that's coming out is on that very topic because it's something we don't even fully understand, nonetheless talk about.
Well, I remember early on in our marriage, I kind of looked at her because I realized there was things that she was not sharing with me because she was worried I was going to leave. And I kind of looked at her and said, hey, you've got to realize I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And, you can share these things with me eventually, and I'm not going to push you to them. But I need you to understand that I'm not going to leave you in this situation. I'm not going to, run out as soon as something gets hard. And even when we first got married, when we had our first real big fight, I remember that was for me growing up in a family that we were used to fighting and arguing and just working through that. It was a kind of a moment of shutdown and worry that I saw happen with my wife, where I kind of bounced right back and I was like, yeah, it was a great conversation. We worked through it. It's okay. We're good. And to her, it was
Yeah.
like just fear, and fear that ended up, we just cripple our relationship. And so there is a process that God took us through. I felt like for one, unlocking my wife's heart in that, but then also two, just healing from the things that had happened in her past and that she had kind of realized.